baby.
313 Detroit love, the Motor City. Detroit love, can't nothing stop me. Detroit love, I love my city. Detroit love.
Welcome to another episode of Middle Ground with JLE, where we treat you like family. Season 14. That's the theme song, Detroit Love, off my first album, The JLE Experience. On the music copyright, I'm muted on Facebook. Doing a special episode because a lot going on. 2025, something different. Title of the episode is Charlie Kirk and Discourse in America. He was gunned down at a event in Utah at Utah State Valley University. Unfortunately, by a young white male, 22, not saying names because I don't really care over here to give a lot of people doing dirt like that because they want their name in the paper sometimes. And the response from it has been, well, this year been going, not shocking, but it would be shocking. First off, prayers to his family. They lost a loved one. I'm a moderate independent. I mean, Republicans, Democrat both have good views, but they both are extreme in how they implement them. And this is a country where we have free speech and expression. And the thought that because of stuff they were saying you didn't like, I saw a lot of videos of people cheering that he was gunned down. And I looked upon, he said stuff about black people, Martin Luther King, other stuff. He says some good stuff too. But that's a right in this country that a lot of places across the globe don't have. The right to express views. Now, he was willing to have debate to let's talk about what you disagree with. So instead of the young man doing that, maybe he could have gave why he don't like his viewpoint. And just like people want to post their vitriol towards this man killing, it's America. You had that right as well. But there used to be a thing of decency in politics. I mean, you could have conversations, even spirited or heated, but okay, we can agree to disagree, keep it moving. That's why I named my social show Ground Floor with the tagline where we can agree to disagree, still be family. Because I can hear your point of view, that don't mean I gotta agree with you. And that's okay. And we've gotten away from this. We stop being civil. It's like game mentality. Either you all in on this or that, or something should happen to you. Words, bro. I mean, I remember we were taught in the 80s, they can say whatever they want to say about you. Just don't put your hands on you. Then you got a right to defend yourself. We ready to string somebody up over words. That now some stuff you said I don't agree with myself, but okay, it's words. And I had the misfortune. I was on a platform checking and posting about shows for the weekend to be new, and someone had posted the killing. I didn't want to see that man get murdered. If you saw the video, it didn't look like it looked like he was gone, unfortunately. The way it hit his neck and everything was blood coming out everywhere. I ain't no type of medical person, but that was a lot coming out of that man. If he still would have been alive, been by the grace of God. And it's at a college. I mean, we first started with the Columbine shootings, and we're like, people shooting up in school. And we had the naive thought, okay, it's just gonna stop at a school. They wouldn't dare touch a church or a college or malls. And 20 some years later, every place is fair game. Now, I've been reading and watching some people saying maybe he should have had better security or bulletproof stuff around him. But he probably was thinking, like a lot of people, we can have debates and disagree and go our separate ways. And that's what we used to be, a country where we can disagree, talk about the issues, and people that want to see it can take from what they can from it. But you killed the man over some words. That's like, wow. That's how far we've fallen in 25. Now, I'm not with, the narratives people saying, the extreme leftists are doing this, we need to get them, or the conservatives need to gun up. What's that's going to solve? We still got challenging issues this country face, and we need forward-thinking leaders that can come to the center to figure some of this stuff out. Make compromising legislation that both sides can agree is common sense, that helps the people, and go forward. And it's like we're not there. Then some people have taken down comments because if they put anything up that seems like to be of support, they're getting attacked on social media. I mean, he had a family. Now the guy grew up without their dad, without her husband. And kids can be cruel, so ain't no telling when they go to school what kids might say to his kids. Like, wow. That's where we at. And we need people to get a hold of it and turn it in a better direction, not fan the flames of it. That's why that makes, through all the issues we have in this country, freedom of speech makes it one of the best places on the planet because you can give your opinion on stuff and not have to be persecuted. Some places you can't even pray, or it's a problem, a real problem. So now we putting out here, well, you can't go out here and speak on what you think because someone might get you. And I ain't with that narrative either because God didn't give us the spirit of fear. But it's quite eye-opening of seeing all the people celebrating someone lost a loved one. I could see if he had planted a bomb or harmed someone, but words. We always said coming up sticks and stones may break your bones, but words never hurt you. So now we taking to a stream. Now some people are saying maybe he's gonna run for president. I don't know about all that. I never came across nothing I was saying none of that. But words. And the devil got soldiers out here, man. I mean, Cat Williams brought that to light when he was on Club Shay Shay talking about is God versus the devil. What side you on? And we just seeing more stuff play out that really shows, yeah. When you get down to the nitty gritty, it's God or the devil. What side you on? because that was an evil act to take somebody out over words. I never really heard about the dude until I came across the article. And I was talking with someone. They was like, yeah, I've read he's a conservative political person, do debates with people about these issues, whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I looked up because some videos I came across, well, he done said A, B, C, D, E, like, okay, I get that. So other people that said stuff you didn't like that was against black people or whoever, y'all wasn't saying kill them. People stayed civil. Now you popping bottles because this man was taken out. And I mean, the dude was on the roof, so it's not like his security could have got over there. But it's going to definitely make people change the approach to wherever they go now if they're having political discussions. And words, man. That's the first thing that had me just caught off guard when I read about it. Like, they killed this man over words. Wow. You know, and then you get the, well, conservatives do this, liberals do this. Like, when did the extremes take over both parties? Because even if you paid attention to elections, no matter if they were Democrat or Republican, they would have their talking points, their agendas, and what they're going to do. And when they get elected, they normally would fall to the center because you got to deal with everybody. And whatever district, state, city, or you in Washington, you got elected for. You might still try to keep some of your campaign promises, but you still have to transition to, okay, I got to be in the center, because if I'm in the Senate, like if you're in the Senate here in Michigan, every Michigander you have to look out for, not just who voted you in. Because that based on like what you're doing and they really rally and vote, they'll put you out. So we all knew when I came up, if you go to the center, okay, that's politics. You do what you got to do to get elected, but you come to the center and try to make sensible, compromising deals for the betterment of the American people. And now we just, you either conservative or you liberal. Ain't no trying to be in the center no more. And come on, man. That's not what we do. There's too many different groups within this country that have needs. Now, from a conservative spectrum, they'll figure, well, you know, the liberals are not of God, which that's not true. Just because you might not like the act don't mean that they don't follow God. Go look it up for yourself. Or liberals say, they Bible thumbing, they trying to beat you over the head with being right. No one is ever going to be perfect. You try to do the best you can every day. But we just stuck on that now. Like, oh, the liberals did it. They took him out. Conservatives need to gun up. Like, gun violence ain't the answer. That's someone trying to rob you, attack you, break into your home. Them type of things you got a right to defend yourself. I am a full belief of the Second Amendment. You got a right to defend you and your family. But words, that still got my man just like, that's why I had to, like, you got to get on here and talk about this because words, they took this man out. And someone else say, well, Jeff, he was talking crap about Martin Luther King. It's been black people talking about, unfortunately, well, Martin Luther King wasn't a saint. Y'all ain't killing them. These are words, people. Words. If you don't agree with them, keep it pushing. Not we need to stone them, like in the Old Testament type approach. And that's just so wow. And then you got some to argue, well, he was just trying to talk about God too much. Got a bad thing? I mean, look at this. I mean, look what they did with the schools that took God out of school. Look at this world. Without God or whoever you call God to be, it'd be far worse. You might give in to your more not good impulses. And we getting onto a thing now, like we're desensitized to violent acts. Because when I came across the video of him getting shot, I saw a lot of people viewed it. Like, this ain't a movie or TV show, this real life. I didn't want to see that. And it wasn't like you knew it was coming. You know, some people talking about people doing hand signals. Don't know how true that is. But he's talking and then pow. You just see the blood coming out. Like, what the? Well, that ain't shot him. So if anybody had any ideologies like, where's Utah? You know, that's a real cool, like, people wild everywhere, man. They like people talk about black on black crime, white on white, Asian on Asian. Crime is crime everywhere. But we're cool getting away from having civil debates. Take yourself from it and go your separate ways. If you don't believe what I believe, I should throw a rock at you and stone you. Or take a gun and take you out. Like, come on, man. What we doing? This thing is getting off the rails. And then I just heard of, well, it was something where people expressing this a lot, not saying what platforms. But I first saw when Kevin Samuels died. You know, he was someone, if you didn't know, he made a lot of videos at first telling men they need to step their game up, be the right type of dude on their purpose. But he blew up when he started talking about females. I saw a lot of females celebrating he died. Like, and now fast forward, a lot more people. It's like if you watched X-Men 97 when you kept hearing Magneto was right. And that point is him and Professor Xavier had a viewpoint. Charles Xavier, we should be accepted and live amongst humans because they were mutants. Magneto, we need to get them before they get us because they're never going to accept us. So you've seen since Kevin Samuels' death, more people talk about, well, some females do have ideologies that don't line up with what they are at. You know, for example, you know, they want a man with 6 figures, 6 foot, and all that. but they might not be in that financial bracket. But you had a right to aspire to have whatever you want, but you got real people with you, they're going like, okay, let's be realistic. Right now, you right here. You need to level up yourself so you can be worthy of that person. Then time go on, then Hulk Hogan died recently. And I saw people celebrating that. Well, he said racist stuff like, okay. But I mean, he came up in the South. Born back in the 50s, let's be honest. You probably had a relative that didn't like black people, and they spoke about it in the privacy of your home. That's not shocking breaking news. But having it gone, like, what the? And now the hits keep coming. Now this Charlie Clark has been murdered, and people celebrating again. Like, when did we? And it's still words. That's one underlying theme of all three of their deaths over this last few years. Words. There was no video of Kevin Samuels harming someone or Hulk Hogan harming someone or Charlie Kirk harming someone. It's words. When we get so sensitive as a society that we don't roll with the words can't hurt me, what we came up with in the 80s and 90s. You ready to kill over words? Wow. Then you had some say, well, I'm glad he gone, but I do feel for the family. Like, to me, that's an oxymoron in my opinion. Because him being gone affects them. Like, that's, man. We only got a few more months left in 2025. And that's where we at. We celebrate people getting murdered or they dying because of words they said that you don't agree with. And it might be words you didn't say that people don't agree with. That don't mean you should be murdered or harmed either. It's words. We got to go back to being grown-ups. Tougher skin. Words shouldn't have you crashing out, as they say now. Like, really? Now, someone might ask, well, what's the solution? I'm not really sure. Besides, you need God in your life more. You need to look in the mirror and see, are you doing anything to affect your environment for the better? Because what you put in this universe, you're going to get back. Words have power. So you really got to be careful what you say. And yeah, I don't agree with everything this man said, but okay. He has the right in this country to speak his piece. Now, he had some people start looking at, I'm not debating these strangers. They might do something to me. But we don't have healthy civil discussions about the issues this country face. How are we going to come up with solutions? And when I was younger, I used to be one where, oh man, I'm straight Democrat. I'm this and that. I ain't trying to hear that sad. But then some old school people started teaching me it'd be more wise to understand the person or people you don't agree with point of view. Do some research. And when I started doing that, I started learning, okay, some of that what they saying makes sense. I don't agree with all of it. But I can see why they had that point of view now. Okay. I ain't rocking with it, but I understand you now. And if they understand your point of view, that's a good moment in time. Maybe that might help them make better choices from the conversation y'all had. I know at the accounting lab at Wayne State, we used to have a lot of social conversations about everything. And some people learn something from the conversation because we will listen to each other and fill in the blanks with some facts. Like some who were young white male and females will ask, for example, well, what is racism? And I will always get an analogy. Okay, simple. If a black person, white person, got all the same paperwork, go to get a loan from the bank to start a business. Black person go. They followed all the rules. And nope, not gonna deal with you. Get out of here. Now, white person sometimes did everything correct as well, or sometimes they maybe was missing one or two documents. But they get the first class treatment and more than what they asked for. And when I explained that to them, they instantly like, that's not fair. A light bulb went off like, yep, it's not fair. And like, what's America? Like, yeah, what's America's, but there's still some parts within it that stuff ain't fair for everybody. Now maybe they go back to their environment and have a different perspective now, where they can might affect change. But we got away from that type of conversation where we could listen to each other and be okay. I don't agree with all that, but I agree with that 20%. Cool. That's when we won't get much done in Congress now because everybody's straight. Oh, you're a Republican, I'm a Democrat. Like, you there for the American people. If that deal got some of the stuff you can live with on both sides, but it's going to help the people, y'all need to go past that bill. Don't grandstand. Get on the House and Senate floor for almost 20 hours trying to stop a vote or get on political shows. This bill sucked. Do your job. That's how we got to the 2025. People could find common ground and pass stuff. Move the country forward. But right now in this moment, when we have a swell across the country and social media, nope, we ain't doing that. Either you agree with me or you should die. And I get in an emotion, you hit sin when you shouldn't. Because I believe more people have decency and humanity in them than what they're putting out there. If you sit back and think about it, would you want someone to do that to your loved one or your child? Now you're on something whole different. You say, yep, yes, they should. Like, okay, I can't even talk to you. You're too far gone. But I doubt many people out here that have been celebrating this man being murdered would be fine if that was their relative. And for words that they used. I doubt you'd be cool with that. But we get emotional. We were emotional in the 80s and 90s, even a little early 2000s, but you had the old school teaching. If they didn't touch you, let them words roll off like you got turtle skin. Just let it roll off. Keep moving. You was gonna fight everybody that say something to you don't like? And you find yourself sitting like, well, no, okay then. So as long as they didn't touch you, it's just words. Fall back. That's even a lot of the discourse with sports athletes. But we got social media and people be posting some very hateful, man, you this and that. And you like, if you walked across them in public, you ain't gonna have that same energy. Let's be real. Let's get back to common sense. Let's be real. I mean, you talk about how they played or stuff, but the name calling and all the other stuff, if you ran across them athletes, you will not say that to their face. And I'm doing this special episode about this discourse in America because we crashing out over words. You ain't got to agree, but we should be able to have these conversations and move forward. Because that's the case, we ought to be gone because we all may have said something that somebody don't like, and we got nothing. So, if anything, I want you to get out of this episode. Let's get back to being the decent, civil people that we can be. You ain't got to agree with everything somebody says, but you can agree to disagree and walk away. We don't got to get violent, whatever the topic matter. It's just words. I mean, and sometimes I be too deep in thought about stuff because just words is just the reason this man was taken out. Is just wow. Now that can happen to someone that's on the liberal side. That wouldn't be right either. No one wins when he goes this extreme. No one wins because you need to have reasonable people having these political discussions so we can find solutions. Move forward and take from whatever someone's saying that you can that might make sense to you and tune out the rest of it. But we shouldn't get violent. This is 2025, man. It's a wild world we're living in right now. Wild world we're living in. Gotta put my banner up here. See, can I find it? There we go. When I posted the flyer, like, okay, I'm having a conversation about it, I was pleasantly surprised by the feedback of people paying attention to it. And again, I'm a moderate independent. Republicans, Democrat, both have some good ideas, but they both are extreme in how they implement. We need to get a little bit more in the center, make some common sense policies that help the American people. There used to be a saying that Republicans were the grown-ups in the room, and Democrats were just the wild party goers, whatever. Not everybody on ziggity boom, as we used to say, coming up. We gotta get back to the standard of being civil and some common sense and these political discussions, policies being made that help everybody, and agree to disagree and walk away. Because, man, I pray for this world and everybody because, words, you're taking people out. And you put on social media that you're celebrating it. This definitely ain't the world that Dr. King or Malcolm X thought might be. Even they had their disagreements before their death, assassinations, they found common ground. Former political people that have political shows talk about how they used to be in Washington where we all could go at it all day, but find some common ground and go on, go home, come back. Now, ain't too much getting past unless one party got total control or vice versa. There's a lot of challenging issues within this country that need to be worked on. And we should be able to be more civil to have those conversations to find those answers. Need some changes. Great song Bruce Hornsby made, The Way It Is, back in the 80s. And Tupac used that beat for a song Changes. Because you always got people in music talking about stuff going on where we need some change to get better for everybody. Wow. That's my 2 cents about this topic, because I definitely had to get on here and talk about it, because just all the stuff I've been taking, like, wow, this we're getting away from being civil and having healthy debates, taking something from it and walking away. But this serious type conversation today, I have some interviews coming up soon. But we're going to talk sports for the next show, Sports Lounge, Season 5 premiere. And my Lions, I still got hope. So hope everybody enjoyed the weekend. Hydrate. Be safe. Spend time with your peoples. Because stuff wild out here. Until next time, everybody. It'll be a rewind interview tomorrow at 7 o'clock. But enjoy your night, and hope this spark people to have healthy conversations about what's going on. We all have a good night. Thanks for tuning in to Middle Ground with JLE. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to buy my products, go to Amazon.com for my books or my music. Like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Middle Ground with JLE. And more to come. See you next time. Detroit, welcome to the D, baby. 313